I am experiencing some grief. Guys, my name is Shauna. This is Making Everyday Magic. If you are new here, we are a homeschooling family of 4 who is in our 7th year of homeschooling. We have a 2nd and a 6th grader. And today I wanted to pop on and just kind of chat through some of my feelings with you about when extracurriculars change. Guys, before we go any further, please scroll down, hit the big red subscribe button, turn on the bell for notifications, and give this video a thumbs up. As always, you can find me right on down in the comments or over on Instagram at Making Everyday Magic. I'm going to be talking about this specifically in the instance of extracurriculars, but really it's any kind of change. Anytime something doesn't go according to plan or doesn't go the way that you think it would, and this happens in homeschool and extracurriculars, I'm going to talk about now, in life and business and relationships and all kinds of things. It is natural to go through genuinely a grief. And I know that that can sound dramatic, but when you have invested time and energy, and you can think of where A leads to B and B leads to C and C leads to D, and you've only made it to E, but you can see the whole path all the way to Z. It is okay if when that changes or when that train gets derailed to really, like I'm doing now, kind of sit in your feels and just feel the loss of that, because it is what it is. And I know that I'm being dramatic, and of course there are always bigger problems that people have. I'm not trying to say or negate any of that or liken how I feel to any large scale catastrophe. I'm not saying that. But I do have a right to these feelings, and they're real and they're valid. And now that I'm a few months removed from some of these things, it's a little easier to kind of to articulate and to share. As when you're in the thick of it, it can be a little difficult, but I think it's important to share because, again, it is a grief, and I want people to know that when plans change, it's okay to be sad that plans changed. Now, what I am specifically talking about today is when extracurriculars change, not for me, for my kids. So many of you know, and I've shared this tons of times, my girls danced, right? We started when my oldest was 4, a little over 4, and my youngest was 6 weeks old. So she literally grew up in the dance studio that we attended, and started, as soon as she could stand on her dot and get in the door, that's where she was. And we really invested time, so much time and energy and money into the pursuit of dance. And it wasn't the first thing we had done. We started out with gymnastics. But there comes a point now, especially so much now, where extracurriculars have to take on this kind of, it's almost like the education system, really, where you're prepping for college and preschool, and you're prepping for a professional gymnast career at 4. It really has all taken on such an intensity, which I don't care for, but it's impossible to escape, and it's easy to get caught up in, which was frequently my case. It's really easy to kind of, what's one more step? It's one more dollar. It's one more night a week. It just kind of builds and builds into this massive kind of thing. So naturally, that's kind of the course that we took. We're at a dance studio that was not competitive dance, thankfully. That's where we got bulk of classical ballet training, all of that. And there came a time, and that's where we built our friendships, and that's where we built our relationships, and that's where we built the bulk of our socialization, was because we were always there. We're always with friends. You gravitate toward the like-minded friends in situations and similar family styles and things like that. It's natural. It's absolutely natural because, again, you're investing a lot of time and energy at these places and with these people, and you're going through it together, and your kids are the same age and in the same levels and attending the same thing. So it really does make sense. There came a time when, as a family, and with my daughters, decided that this was no longer the best fit. And so we did kind of start looking around. And with that, absolutely came a grieving, came a separation of a lot of those bonds, and things changed quite a bit. And we did find a new dance home. And for quite a while, it was a pretty good fit. It was a pretty good fit. However, it did become apparent to my daughter, my oldest, because my youngest kind of was really pulling away from dance in that respect. My oldest had decided that maybe this also wasn't the best fit for her, and not necessarily the studio or the people, but the kind of dance world as a whole is maybe not where she feels she should be. Now, if you are a parent who's done any kind of extracurriculars, you know, this was hard to take. We've spent thousands of dollars, thousands of hours, so much. And there's a part of that where when she's telling you at a very young age that her goal is point shoes and those things like that, I mean, you buy into it and you support it. My husband and I have always very much been, whatever you want, we are all in. If you're all in, we're all in. We'll make things happen. We will move mountains for you, but you have to be all in. And she just wasn't all in with this. And she knew quite a while before we stopped. And so it was a lot of that, me constantly trying to check in, like, how are we feeling? Have we changed our opinions on that? And at the end of the day, we had to, less so my husband, but I had to genuinely just be so proud of my daughter for being, for the bulk of this, 10 and under, and making such mature decisions and allowing herself to make the change and allowing herself to advocate for what she needed and what she wasn't receiving from this environment. So truly, I am truly so proud of her and the maturity that she took to this situation, because she did not have an interest in competitive dance and she stood by that. So despite the fact that all of her friends were doing it, that all of her classmates were doing it, that it was really a little bit kind of pushed upon her, she chose, she knew what was going to suit her and she stood by that. So as a mom, especially as a mom of a girl, I am so proud of her for not falling into that trap of everyone else is doing it. As a mom of a dancer, my heart hurts to not have that. So once we had finished our recital, we walked away from dance, which again, we've done this for 7 years, and it hurt and it's hard. And there's a grief that comes along with that just because it didn't go to plan. But so incredibly proud of her. And quite frankly, yes, I invested in a lot, but that's part of being a parent. It's not my decision to make, and it's not my business. Really, it's not my business. So I want my kids to have a thing. I want them to have a thing. So we embarked on, really it started in May of last year, and we embarked on, okay, well, if we are no longer doing something that takes the bulk of our evenings, we're starting from scratch. I can choose things that are during the day and have homeschool classes, which in a recent video you saw there's now more than ever, and I'm so excited. So now we have tried all kinds of fun things. We've got a ninja, and we have added fencing of all things, which, by the way, really low injury rate if anybody needed to know that. And now my youngest has started basketball, and she's having such an absolutely great time, which I don't know if you know this, but she's kind of really tall. So it's like, this is maybe a good thing to try. And then my oldest has decided, and shockingly to us, to pursue another avenue in the arts, which again, we are fully supportive of. We are in the Houston area, and there's just so many opportunities available to us because of that. But she decided to, after trying some summer camps, we did some theater camps, she's decided that theater is the direction she wants to go for now. So she's auditioned and been accepted, and now we will start theater, which for me, I am actually very happy that by letting her go and letting her do what she wanted to. There is still an aspect of dance with musical theater, so that makes me happy. We were just building to this point. And so now we are adding in vocal and acting, and we're so excited. So we do feel like we just had orientation, and actually today is first day of classes. So I still don't fully know what to expect. We don't know anyone who's been here, but we're so excited. We're so optimistic. After orientation, we sat down with these people and they used language that for me, let me know it was a place I want to invest my energy. I want to invest my kid, the most precious thing I have, my time and my money. So we are excited and we are optimistic. But I do think that it is important to acknowledge that when things change, there's a grief and it hurts your heart. Yeah, it does. So now we are in the amazing place of being excited again and looking ahead at all of the opportunities that are going to come her way, that are going to be available to her. And it is nice. It is nice to have something new, to be with people new. But that means, of course, you've got to do all the new stuff. So we've got to learn the new ins and outs of how it works for drop off and pick up and snacks and baggage and schoolwork and commitment and other parents. And I have to meet new people, which is always, believe it or not necessarily my favorite thing to do. But I'm gonna do it because that's my role as mom, as support staff to the kids, and I will do it gladly because, again, that's my role. So now we are embarking on a brand new journey, which if you saw my time management video recently, I have swapped. Life is different now. It's a little less kind of routine, and I do need more minute to minute. And so I have adapted the way that I'm planning now, and I've got new planning, new things. And I've got a bit of a splurgy luxury item I'm going to share with you right now, but it's a fantastic pen. Let me show you. Since we're talking planners, sketchy transition to a total splurge alert. Okay, so I'm gonna do a little down shot and I'm gonna show you a little bit of my planner because, again, we've got like nuts world going on. But as you guys know, that one of the perks of sharing here, and one of the things that really helps my channel keep going, is letting you know about new and awesome things to me. And this, I share a lot of things. This is a complete splurge, absolute luxury item. And it's nice, guys, so nice. And I know that holidays are coming up and things like that. So if you don't know what to get someone, but you need it to be really nice, or if you don't know what you want, but you also would like some high quality, if you're anything like me, again, we're planning, we're writing, we're doing things. And some pins, some nice little pins are real nice sometimes. So I am going to have a link for you where you can save 20%, but I know, total luxury splurge, but sometimes that's really nice to either gift someone, 'tis the season coming up, or to ask for yourself when you don't know what to ask for. So I do feel like with all of our changes and learning how to adapt again, because you do get, especially when you've been at a studio for years and years and years, you kind of learn things. You don't have to put new thought into things. You just get the new schedule and move on. And now we are back at kind of square one. We're learning how things work. We're learning just how other things are. I guess how things are out in the world, in the different world. But right now, there's just a lot of change. And again, it's okay. It's okay to grieve that, I feel like, because it is, we're had built our friendships at these places. We've invested, have such close relationships with teachers and staff and things like that. And it is hard to walk away from things. And I've done this. You guys know I used to be in the salon, and whenever I chose it, like whenever we decided that wasn't the best place where I wanted to be, where I wanted to be investing the bulk of my time and energy, that was hard. It was hard to walk away from people I loved, relationships I've had for a decade. It's hard. It's hard. It's just hard. And it breaks your heart. And it's not wrong. It's not necessarily the wrong decision. But it's okay. It's okay to just sit in those feels and just really honestly to feel crummy about it for a little while. Yeah. So that. And yeah, that's not the only change. So stay tuned later this week. We'll talk about another one. Guys, well, I hope that you found any of that helpful, entertaining, or informative. If you did, please scroll down, hit the big red subscribe button, turn on the bell for notifications, give this video a thumbs up. As always, you can find me down in the comments or over on Instagram at Making Everyday Magic. Like I said, I do have a link for you on Bastion pins. They're so nice. Holidays are definitely coming. Use my code, save 20%. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'll keep you posted. I'll let you know how it goes. Bye, guys.